Let's do this. Hello again, and welcome into Studio Breezy. This is the Section 109 podcast, and we are joined by both puppies on the couch this time. That might be the first time ever. This is Sir Mix-a-Lot. This is Toby. That is Bobble Juan, the goat. That is Jim. That is Matthew. I am Breezy. We are podcasters, therefore we love likes, comments, and subscribes on all of the platforms. It would mean a lot if you would do one or two of those things to make us happy. But yeah, boys, how are we feeling? The season for CFC Women, the Sky Blues, is almost here.
Bobble Juan is not just the GOAT. He is also the coach.
Yes, he is.
So the Juan Hernandez era of being head coach for CFC Women is officially upon us. He served as an assistant.
It's a week from today, right?
We are going to release this on Monday or Tuesday, so no, it is not a week from today.
Okay, we don't have to lie.
We're wearing the same clothes. We recorded on Friday.
We're in the same clothes when we last recorded just a few minutes ago, and we are recording on Friday. But this will be released on either Sunday or Monday, probably on Monday. But yeah, but it's a week from today, and if you're listening to this, it is likely 3, 4, or 5 days, or maybe even less from the debut.
I was setting expectations so well,
or maybe
and then
the
you had to
game's
go
already
and say
happened.
Sunday.
Or maybe you're going back and listening to this. It's 2030, and you know exactly what all happened. I don't know.
That's true. No, it'll be Monday, almost certainly. I'm going to Huntsville tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. So what we have planned for this episode is a look now at what I believe is 22 players that are signed, announced, rostered, whatever you want to call it.
In practice, in theory, right now.
I would hope so. And so we're going to go through all 22. We're going to talk about, obviously, who's returning from last year. We're going to talk about a lot of new faces.
A lot
of new faces. And
we're going to figure out if Jim knows if they're all... I bet you Jim is going to know the mascot of every one of these colleges.
This will be a fun game. Jim, this is in almost perfect order for what you're scrolling right now. The show doc is. It's a little different in the forward section. I think. Maybe not. So we're just gonna go through. We're gonna start with goalkeepers. And once we get to the end, we can talk a little bit about, some things that stand out. I'm going to tell you guys now, there's not a lot of video on these players.
Not a lot of highlight packages out there.
The video I have found for a few is old. It's like high school, like college recruiting stuff.
Got it.
And I'm just not going to go down that rabbit hole.
You're not watching high school tape hoping to know how someone continued to develop in their soccer career?
I'm just not doing that. But I do think we can... I think we can kind of guesstimate, and we'll almost certainly look very stupid very quickly about how we might want to play, how we might... we need to get a stab at a starting lineup if you want at the end of this thing.
Oh, my God.
Jesus Ibarra, what are you talking about?
And we'll just go through what we're going to see, because, this season, number one, is starting very, very soon, and it goes very quickly. So... we just want to dive straight in here and let's go. So let's start with goalkeepers. We've got 3 of them on the roster.
Take me through it. And I'm going to resist the urge to hit the applause button for everyone.
Okay.
Because I know how much longer that's going to add to the podcast.
Welcome. I was going to say welcome to Chattanooga, but she's not. It doesn't need a welcome to Chattanooga, just a welcome to CFC. Caroline Eckern.
Let's go.
Yep.
A 5'8" goalkeeper. She's 21. She's originally from Knoxville. She is UTC's number 1 keeper and has been for all 3 years she's been there.
What kind of, that's, I don't know who that is. The Mocs?
The Mocs.
The Mockingbirds.
Is it a moccasin or a mockingbird?
Oh, jeez. No, it's all things. So is it a mockingbird?
Off to a great start, guys. She's had 52 starts in goal in in her 3 years with UTC.
I think that's a really good sign that we got a local person who is a starter and who may not be the starter. There's a little bit of because there's some. If you look at the pedigree of some of these players, like I don't know who the starter is going to be, but I think that's a really good sign that we're getting girls that are playing a lot of minutes. So we're the first choice for some girls, I think.
Next goalkeeper,
very much reading way too far into it for sure.
Next goalkeeper up is Kylie Hall. She's a 5'10" goalkeeper, 26 years old, originally from Berkeley, California. She went to college. She's been out of college for a couple years, but she went to college at Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
That's an offshoot, kind of like UTC is from UTK?
Yes.
Yeah. That is not the Aggies.
Okay.
The Islanders.
Of course he knew.
Her previous club is Unifit Antigua in Guatemala. She also has professional experience in Romania. And she wrapped up her club career, at least with Unifit Antigua, in I think December is usually when that season ends. And then she moved to the Atlanta area, and she's been working with SSA.
SSA.
This spring as a youth team coach. So
Okay.
joining the Sky Blues this summer.
5'10", really like that.
Yeah.
Are the Islanders D1?
I think they're 2.
Gotcha.
So that's Kylie Hall.
I like 5'10", I like 26, and I like time spent in the professional game. Though that's as far as pedigree goes, really like that.
SSA used to wear Kelsey shirts, so that's a
Used to wear what shirts?
Chelsea.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a bummer.
I know.
She is one of just a couple of players, like maybe 2, 3. I forget exactly. We'll figure it out later on. That has an age profile a little bit older than most everyone else, which is a really good thing to have.
Totally.
That extra experience.
Look what we're doing with Eldon right now.
Yeah.
It can work out. It doesn't have to, but there's no guarantee, but it can work out really well.
Final goalkeeper on the roster is Maddie Smith. She's 5'8", 24 years old, originally from Omaha, Nebraska. My notes here, she was on a bit of a rise. So she started at a community college, Lake Tahoe Community College. And
no idea what their mascot is.
no idea where it is either, by the way.
Well,
maybe it is near
Lake
Lake
Tahoe.
Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe. Yeah.
Listen,
I assume the skiing's good.
I don't presume anything about the geography of America. You just never really know.
That is true.
She transferred to...
We find out it's in Kansas.
She transferred to University of Omaha.
Do not know what they're... I didn't even know the University of Omaha was a thing.
For 2020. In practice, I think that's the spring of 2021. Because, COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
She then transferred to Maryland and was the primary backup.
Good program.
In
Go
2021. Terps. She became the starter for Maryland in 2022. Yeah. Had a really, really good season there. I think she was named... I think it was something about like being named in like the ACC team of the week like 5 times or something ridiculous. Like had a really good season there. She got hurt and missed all of 2023. I don't know why.
Probably got hurt.
Yeah. And then transferred to Florida State and joined
the Seminoles,
a perennial powerhouse program in women's soccer.
Unfortunately.
And she was part of, I think she was primarily a backup there. But that team won the ACC tournament championship. They were knocked out of the NCAAs in the second round by Vanderbilt on PKs.
Yeah, they were really, I think they were one of the favorites that year.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I love this.
I think they were probably ranked number 1 at time. Like if you win the ACC, you're going to end up getting ranked number 1 in the country. The summer before her time with Florida State, she actually won the WPSL championship.
Yeah.
With California Storm.
Not to be confused with the Colorado Storm.
Yeah,
No,
we'll get to.
Who came in second place in the W League and were coached by Sebastian and Marin, I believe.
Yeah. So we'll get to that part. Those are 2 interesting things. So 3 goalkeepers with like really good pedigrees. Like
Yes.
And so like, you guys laughed for good reason about like predicting the starting lineup because
I don't.
It could be any one of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll just see.
I love this.
On to defenders.
This is already starting how I want it to start, more or less. Other than like one of them isn't 6'2". Miss you, Cozy.
Yeah, who's had a really good season so far for Fort Lauderdale United in the Super League.
She's really good.
Shout out. Although speaking of, I should really look up how Katie Johnson's doing too, because she where was she at, like Lille?
Oh yeah. Was it Leo? Yeah. What
It was Leo.
was it? Leo? Okay.
Pretty sure.
I don't know why I thought Leon, but no, it's not.
She's definitely not Lyon.
One of those
Definitely not Lyon.
One of those L words in France. One of those L teams. I think pretty much Lille.
But anyway, that's yeah. I just thought of that. So next up, we've got on the defender category, Dijonny Anderson.
God, I hope you're not even close.
I bet it's Dijonay.
Dijonay, okay.
I'm not even taking a stab at it.
I'll take
no
that.
Clue.
Dijonay, that makes a lot more sense actually. A 5'9" defender. She's 21 years old. I did have a little bit of tape.
Already like the stature. 5'9's good, especially for
So
defender.
she's from St. Catherine, Jamaica. Just finished her year at Arkansas. Previously, she was at Daytona State.
I don't know how good Daytona State is on the women's side, but on the men's side, it's a good program. And then Arkansas is a pretty decent program.
Yeah, Arkansas is good.
I don't think she had a ton of minutes for Arkansas this past fall. Coming in, she does have experience with the Jamaican U15 and U17s. And based on a little bit of video from her time at Daytona State, I am thinking center back and left back, probably in terms of a center back profile, maybe left of a 3 is my guess, or like fully to be left back in a 4 is my rough projection.
Okay.
She appears to be left-footed, and yeah. So welcome, Dijonay.
Hell yeah.
Next up, we've got Jordan Crockett, a 5'7" right center
By the
back.
way, what a great name.
Yeah, 5'7" right center back. That's me projecting in a 3 because I did find one starting lineup from last fall.
Do you think she can trace her lineage to Davy Crockett?
Probably not. No, probably not. Now I will note, I said that she was featured as an RCB in a 3, thanks to a starting lineup graphic that I found from last fall. The Denver, University of Denver's her college, the Denver
Pioneers, let's go Pioneers.
Sports Information
D1?
Department.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't even. I've literally never heard of the University of Denver. No shade, but never heard of the University of Denver before.
Denver is a decent.
Incredible accounting program, master's accounting program.
I'm
Also, really
I
good at
understand
hockey.
why he would know this, but why do you know this?
It's me. It's also where Colorado Rapids 2 play. Come on, watch your MLS Next Pro. Anyway,
I don't watch the Western Conference.
This podcast is going to deviate really hard if we're not careful here.
I'm having a great time.
Denver Sports Information Department has Jordan listed as or mentioned as an outside back.
Okay.
So it's also possible we see her as
Left-footed or right-footed?
I think right back.
Okay.
So I think right-footed. I've seen her as as a right center back in a 3. I wouldn't be surprised to see her play a little bit of outside back in if we play a 4.
Also, because it's women's soccer and the WPSL is stupid, there's unlimited substitutions. So,
Yeah, so you can
we
see a
could
lot
see
of
her
things.
all over the place.
So she scored 2 goals in 9 matches in the WPSL, or I'm sorry, the W League regular season.
Who did you play for?
Colorado Storm.
That's what I thought. All right.
So she has a little bit of experience with Sebastian and Marin.
And they know her, so they're going to hopefully have a good idea on why she should be here, which is hell yeah, let's go.
In 5 seasons for the University of Denver, she made 91 appearances. 70 of those were starts, 3 goals, and 10 assists.
Sounds like a right back for sure,
So
just based on those stats.
yeah. So that's Jordan. Next up, we have a returner, our first returner from the list,
I am going to hit the applause on this.
Billie Jean Davies.
Welcome back, Billie Jean.
She's a 5'7" left back and center back from Manchester, UK. She just
Not
wrapped
to be
up.
confused with Manchester, Tennessee.
She just wrapped up Her second year, I believe, at West Virginia State.
West Virginia State.
What a interesting.
She recorded
Yellow
seven.
Jackets.
She
Is it
recorded
yellow or yellow?
Yellow.
That's what I thought.
She recorded 7 assists in 1,546 minutes in 2024,
Let's go, Billie Jean.
and helped West Virginia State win their conference tournament.
Hell yeah.
So, welcome back.
D2, I'm guessing. West Virginia State.
If it may be D3.
Okay, makes sense.
Next up, we have Ash Fernandez.
I recognize that name. Is that a name of a former CFC Women's player, or just
No, you just read the show doc at one point in time.
So not a returner.
Not a returner. She's a 5'5" outside back from Niceville, Florida.
Nice.
She is a product of Tulsa,
Okay.
University of Tulsa, the Golden Hurricanes.
There you go. You got to know that.
I have no idea.
She scored 8 goals and 2 assists in 74 appearances over 5,700 minutes there.
What position did you think she plays?
So I've got her at 5 goals and 2 assists in 2024. And so that's a lot of like specifically goal production for someone listed as a defender, right?
Totally.
So my guess is number one, like obviously an outside back. Like, but and I think she's a right back. I think, for balance purposes, you've got like Dijonay and you've got Billie Jean Davis. So I'm thinking that she's going to be on the right hand side, and I'm wondering if like she played a lot of at Tulsa. She played a lot of kind of wing back, and just happened to like get on the end of some stuff, which is led me thinking about how we might play, potentially. So, why is there a W on this? That makes no sense.
Oh, maybe I did that.
Tisk.
You two got to quit typoing over here.
Did you do another thing too?
Oh, by mistake.
You gotta stop doing that. Okay, so that's Ash.
Matthew's way older than you. He can't figure out how to use Google Docs, so don't.
Next up, we have another returner, Abby Merrick. Hit that button.
I was reaching.
Abby's a
go.
5'4" defender. She's 20 years old from Franklin, Tennessee, and she goes to UTC.
Let's go. Welcome back, Abby.
Her first season at UTC was actually fall of 2024. So she played for CFC before she started UTC. Started 18 of 19 matches there this season, and played 1,258 minutes.
Center back.
Center back. Probably more. See, I feel like more of a right center back in a 3, but that's just because I'm judging her for being 5'4".
He also thinks that if you notice by his talking, that we're for sure playing a 3.
I do, yeah, but we'll get to that. That's
I
spoilers.
just don't hear a lot of left.
There's 2 left backs, essentially. Billie Jean and Dijonay.
Yeah,
Oh, Dijonay? Okay.
yeah. So now, like, who's going to be like the center back? That's a great question. I don't know the answer to, and I could also be entirely wrong. That's very possible. So that's Abby. She provided a lot of athleticism that we really needed last year. Love to see her back. Fantastic. Next up, we've got Casey Vigil, 5'3" defender. She's 19 from Gilbert, Arizona. She went to Utah State University, or she goes to Utah State University.
Interesting. It's a long way to come to play soccer.
Aggies.
And she
All
played.
Aggies.
Yeah.
What the hell is an Aggie?
What's the hell? Aggie?
I don't know what an Aggie is.
I mean, you don't know what Aggie is.
I know they
Sort
put
of like agriculture. So, think of like land grant institutions. Huh. Like A&M is agriculture and mechanical. So.
Oh, I didn't know
So,
that.
yeah,
I just knew
Aggies.
Texas A&M was the Aggies. That's
Yeah.
all. I never even
Same.
thought of what that meant.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Continue, Matthew. I'm learning on this podcast too.
Casey played 25 games in her first 2 years at Utah State, 543 minutes. So mostly a reserve player for him.
Did you play for Colorado Storm?
No,
Okay.
no.
I was just curious. I was just
Just,
curious if she came out of that. If she came out of that part of the country, if she had played for Colorado Storm last year.
No, just coming from the West. Next up, we've got I'm going to butcher this so hard. It could be Rene, could be Rhine, could be Rin, Rine, Yonaha. She's from Okinawa, Japan.
Okay.
A 5'4" midfielder / defender. CFC's got her classed as a defender. Utah State has her classified as a midfielder. Yes, Utah State. Teammates with Casey Vigil. She's 23 years old. 4 goals and 11 assists in 2,800 minutes in 3 years at Utah State. And she also went to Snow College for her first year in the United States.
I have no idea.
I know nothing about Snow.
We're looking that up.
But I will say I did find a little bit of video from her time at Snow.
Okay.
And to me, it looked like she was playing predominantly the 6.
Their mascot is Buster the Badger.
That's beautiful.
Wearing number 99 too.
Number
Matthew will love
99,
that.
yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, that's Rene.
I'm excited only because we watched Japanese players tear us up with Nashville the past few years, and like every time I saw a Japanese player play, it was like they were just killing us in the midfield, and so I'm just going on vibes only and being like, we're gonna get that this time. 11 assists from the 6, like that's not a small amount. I wouldn't be surprised if she's either taking set pieces or she gets forward well.
Yeah, or you just you do the just play with some really good verticality.
Yeah, I like those stats from somebody who's not an attacking midfielder.
All right, let's move into what we have classified as the midfielders now.
Okay.
First up, big signing undoubtedly for CFC. It's Kennedy Ball. She is a former CFC Academy.
That's why she gets the applause.
5'9" midfielder. She's 20 years old. Hometown is Lookout Mountain, Georgia. She went to GPS.
Let's go.
She currently is at University of Arkansas, and
Razorbacks.
yeah, and she was named an All-American her senior year of high school at GPS. She was like a top 50 recruit or something like that, and 3 goals and 8 assists in 41 matches. It's 2,005 minutes in 2 years at Arkansas. I suspect she will have a big role to play in this team this year.
This is a big signing.
I think she's an attacking midfielder. Or at least like just generic center midfielder.
So this is the type of pedigree that I want to see. Like Arkansas, big player coming out of big, highly recruited player coming out of high school. Someone who's got a good stature. 5'9" is wonderful. So obviously you're not going to have every player like that, but this is one of those where I go, ooh. Mm-hmm. That's the type of player pedigree wise we did not have the last couple of years. Where you didn't look at the season preview we did the last 2 years and go, ooh, look at that. Like that's impressive. We didn't have that.
Like that 2018 team, which was the last
had
team
a lot
for a while,
of things.
had a lot of this type of
a lot of these type of players.
So
love this.
we're real excited for
former CFC Academy.
We're really excited for Kennedy
home.
coming home and playing for the Sky Blues this summer. Next up, we've got E.G. Dillard, a 5'6",
another great name.
a 5'6" midfielder, also born in Okinawa, Japan.
Hell yeah!
Although she lists her hometown as Charleston, South Carolina.
Interesting.
And
I wonder if she's a military kid.
Yeah,
I think so.
I bet.
And she goes to UTC. She was named to the SoCon freshman team.
Okay.
From this past year. Not a ton of not minutes or video or anything, but staying home.
Fun fact: 2 of my mom's siblings were born in Japan.
Nice. So, welcome to CFC EG. Next up, we've got May Hunt, 5'4" midfielder. She's 19. She's from Staines upon Thames in the UK.
Okay.
University of South Alabama. She played for Reading FC Women back in the day. 1 goal and 18 appearances over 1,149 minutes for South Alabama.
Okay.
This past year.
South Alabama is familiar to me. I think we might have had another player from South Alabama over the last couple.
Jaguars in Mobile, Alabama.
Mobile. They're from Mobile.
Mobile.
I didn't know they're from Mobile.
They are. Yep.
Next up, we've got Kaylee Smith, a 5'3" midfielder. She's 19. She'll actually turn 20 on May 25th, just after the opener.
Happy early birthday, May.
Kaylee.
Oh, happy early May birthday, Kaylee.
Yeah, there it is.
My bad.
She's from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Okay.
Goes to Texas State.
Bobcats. I think some kind of cat.
I think Bobcat sounds right.
Yeah.
She spent 2023 at Mississippi State in the SEC, transferred to Texas State, where she had 4 goals and 5 assists in 22 games.
Okay.
And 1,500 minutes as a sophomore.
How old is she, did you say?
19.
19. So
20th
There's a
on
nice
May
mix
25th.
of youth and experience on this squad.
Yeah.
I like it so far.
I'm going to butcher this name, but welcome back home from the CFC Academy, Tori Sotio.
I don't know. Satio? I don't know. Satio.
Sotuyo. Something like that. 5'6" midfielder. She's 20 from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Let's go.
She goes to
Welcome
Tennessee,
back home.
She goes to Tennessee Tech. She in her first 2 years at Tennessee Tech, she's recorded 3 goals and an assist in 31 matches.
Okay.
The
All right.
Golden Eagles. Not just Eagles.
As opposed to the Silver Eagles
Yeah.
or the Bronze Eagles.
Exactly.
Our last
Golden.
Our
Get that
last
right.
midfielder on this list is Kai Yoneda. Kei Yoneda, 5'2" defender / midfielder.
Kai is going to fit wonderfully into some chance. That is a great name to have for some chance.
She's from Osaka, Japan.
Let's go.
And her college is Arizona Western, where she's got 1 goal and 2 assists in 20 games in her freshman season.
Arizona Western.
Arizona Western. I have no. Let's look. Arizona Western. Oh, they're the Matadors.
Nice.
Okay. This might be my new favorite player.
Yeah.
I think something that you can see here is like there's way more like Western influence than there ever has been.
Yeah, there's a lot of players coming from
Yeah.
across the country.
And I will remind you that both Sebastian and Marin and Miguel on the academy side all came from Colorado Rapids. So the Mountain West influence is strong.
Yeah, they definitely have some connections out there recruiting wise.
And
for sure.
and I will also remind that like there's a little bit of Corpus Christi happening here too. Like there's a couple players that have Corpus Christi in their background, whether it was Texas A&M Corpus Christi or like just being from the city. And that was Sebastian's previous stop
before the Rapids.
before or yeah, like
Which he
right
talked
around,
about which he talked about on the thing.
Yes. So all right, let's do forwards. We got a few players left. First forward up is the most recent signing announcement as of recording time. Grace Ambrose,
Let's go.
a 5'4" winger from Abia, Nigeria.
So I spoke with really briefly with somebody who shall not be named, but they were extraordinarily excited about this one. So I'm excited. This was a signing they were excited about.
Her college is Alcorn State. They did not.
Is Alcorn State in Ohio?
No.
No.
Where's Alcorn State?
It's
Like
Mississippi.
Okay.
Now, Alcorn State did not officially participate in NCAA sanctioned soccer last fall,
This is fun.
but they did play, and I don't know if it was in the fall or if it was in the spring, if it was a club or whatever. I do know that like her teammates voted her as MVP for that season.
Young too, right?
Whatever season she played, there's no age listed. But I will note that in the press release, she's referenced by Sebastian, quoted as saying a top professional prospect at a young age.
Let's go.
So
Let's go. That's the kind of history and pedigree that I want in the playing pedigree coming in. Let's go.
there is a little bit of video from a couple of years ago on her from back in Nigeria. So
Yeah, they're the Braves, by the way. So just in case you
Alcorn Braves.
next player up is Ella Attaway, a 5'9" forward from Buford, Georgia. She just finished her freshman year at UTC and had 1 goal in 14 matches. That's in about like 265 minutes
Okay.
for the Mocs. So
All right.
Bunch of mocks this year.
It's good. It's very good because we need those players that are already local. They know the city. They know the area. They can obviously participate in practice, and if they can play minutes, awesome. But you need those type of players. When we've been at our best, we've always had a
good
core
collection
from UTC.
All right. Moving on to the next one. Eliza Dean, a 5'7" wide forward.
Another excellent name, Eliza Dean.
5'7" wide forward. She's 25 years old, from Littleton, Colorado.
Did she play for the Colorado Storm?
Believe it or not, she did. Her college listed as Metropolitan State University of Denver, or MSU Denver, where she had 6 goals.
MSU Denver.
6 goals and 4 assists in 71 matches over 5 seasons. That's right around 2,200 minutes for MSU Denver. She was a member of the 2024 USLW League runner-up Colorado Storm, where she scored 4 goals in 5 matches.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll note 25 years old, so another player with a little bit older profile.
We're calling because these are mostly college players. Like 25 is like a tiny baby, but
you have to like warp your
No, because I'm feeling the same thing you're saying.
So they're the road. Well, Rowdy the Road Runner is their mascot. So
That's a great mascot
Roadrunners,
name.
probably.
yeah, probably the Road Runners.
you-
Although it looks kind of like the Cardinal. It looks like a Cardinal.
Do you think he gets rowdy?
I bet he does.
At Metropolitan State, you know.
There's some certain things legal out there.
Yep.
He probably does get rowdy.
All right, 3 players to go. Next up, we have Brady Livingston, a returner.
Hey, I know that name.
Welcome
a
back,
returner
Brady.
to the CFC women's team, a returner to the Sky Blues, a CFC Academy,
Let's
a
go.
5'6" forward from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Got minutes last year, and if I remember correctly, I think was she a practice player the year before that as well?
I think she was a practice player the year before, training before in her like between her like junior and senior years of high school, if memory serves. She just completed her freshman year at Lenore Rhine. She scored
Lenore Ryan.
She scored 1 goal and had 2 assists in 17 matches.
That's in North Carolina, right? Hickory.
Something like that.
I have no idea what their mascot is. I'm embarrassed.
I'm surprised you're not looking it up.
I guess I could. Yep.
You looked up like 2 others.
Well, I did look up others.
He looked up ones he'd never heard of. He's really upset with himself because he knew
because I
who
know
this-
Lenore Ryan, private university in Hickory.
You were
North
right about that.
Carolina.
Hickory.
Hickory.
Hickory, dickory, dock. Dun, 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 dun.
Now we have to write a song based on that.
I think I just did 3
Bears.
blind mice with Hickory Dickory Dock.
You did.
The Bears?
The Bears.
The
The
Bears.
Bears. The Bears.
All right.
Let's go.
Moving on. Next one up is Reese McDermott, a 5'6" forward from Houston, Texas. She's 22 years old. Her college was the Colorado School of Mines.
I'm just gonna say minors. I have no idea what.
Yeah, mine would make sense.
Minor.
Probably a minor.
It's probably gonna be like the
The Golden Eagles again.
She has her previous club team though.
By the way, when I read this in the show doc, I thought it was Colorado School of Mimes with an M.
Mimes?
And I was like, huh. Wonder what they study there. It's like an acting school, a drama school.
I'm in a box.
Her previous team is the Austrian club FC Pinzgau Saalfelden.
Let's go.
Felden in Austria.
Yeah, your German's really good, Matt.
Thanks. She played for Colorado Storm last year in the W League, scored 10 goals in 15 matches.
Now this we
Hey,
like.
that's good.
That's real fucking
So-
good. Let's go.
That's appears to have
That may be a name.
have some scoring boots.
That may be a name we're saying a lot, potentially, just based on those stats.
All right, last one. Welcome back home, Annalisa Vincent.
I don't know that name.
5'4" forward. She's 25 years old from Moruca, Guyana. She goes to Talladega College.
She is fun.
She scored 3 goals last year for CFC and just finished her sophomore year at Talladega, where she scored 11 goals in 12 games.
She is she was one of our few she really stood out athletically last year with us. She also a bit of a chaos merchant in the best way possible, and so
I mean, that's women's soccer, especially at this level. Like, you just need some of those chaos merchants.
absolutely. So I'm excited she's back. Very excited she's back.
So that's the group right now. I think 22 players is the total. There might be more.
I would think that there will be. I don't know how many will announce.
I'm hoping there will also be like a class of like CFC Academy players that like train up a little bit.
Without a doubt. I think there has to be about 30. They've got to have roughly total numbers wise between.
I mean, it's amateur soccer. Like, if you've got a commitment on a weekend, you can't make a road game. Like, you've got to have enough players to make it all work.
Yo,
Colorado School of the Mimes.
They're the ore diggers. First of all,
didn't want to call them miners. They call them ore diggers.
The ore diggers, and this is the logo of the. I mean, y'all. I don't know
to be able to see it on here. That's incredible.
That's incredible. It's a donkey. Now, it's not just a donkey. I don't know if you could tell from where you were sitting, but in its mouth is a stick of dynamite.
That mascot goes hard.
Yeah. Ore diggers.
All right.
Ore diggers.
Ore diggers. Be careful when you're saying that.
I ain't saying anything. Famous song. Hell yeah. So 22, I think they're going to need around 30. That'll be including practice players and whoever else. Yeah, so we may see a couple more. We may see a couple more announcements because I doubt they. I mean, I could be wrong, but I doubt they have 8 academy girls who will be playing up. They'll probably have 3 or 4. I mean, it depends. They may have a real talented group, but I expect a few more announcements. And man,
we're here. So I've been talking about the back 3 for a little bit, right?
Yeah, do a little prediction here. I'll be right back.
My prediction is that they're going to play a system that roughly mirrors the men's team, the 3-4-3, with 2 wide forwards and a 9, 3 center backs, the kind of two-way midfielders, and then wing backs. That's kind of where I've gotten to. And it's partially based on calling Eliza Dean a wide forward, and it's partially based on just kind of like looking at some of this personnel. A goal scoring outside back that feels like that could easily be a wing back. You've got a player who's got experience playing the right center back in a back 3. Yes, it was one game. Yes, I'm reading into this too much. That makes a lot of sense. You've got a player who is classified as you've got Kennedy Ball, who I could easily see being one of the 2-way midfielders, right?
Yeah, I mean 11 contributions in 41 matches, so she's definitely getting forward.
Yeah. You've got someone like Ryan or Rene Yonaha, who's like listed as a defender by CFC, but a midfielder for Utah State. It could be one of those systems where she actually plays in the middle of a 3 and then steps into midfield as well.
Yeah, she should be small to be playing in the middle of a 3.
I mean, maybe. So, like, if you want to go down like that path and you want to play your 3 like tallest players in center defense, you're looking at Dijonay, Jordan Crockett, and Billie Jean Davies.
Yeah.
And so, like, by service level, I would put Crockett at right center back. I'd put Billie Jean Davies at left center back, and I'd put Dijonay in the middle at 5'9". Now I don't know enough about like left-footed versus about who's a wing back level player on the left. So is Dijonay gonna play left back in a back 4? Would Billie Jean Davies? We saw Billie Jean mostly play at left back as a starting plan last year, and then get switched to center back because she was a little bit more athletic and able to deal with some of the verticality that we saw. Does that remain? Do they want to get her back to being in a place where she can provide more like full service going forward. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I think, there's 6 forwards on the roster. So again, who knows how they're labeled, and all that, but that tells me that doesn't sound like a 4-4. It doesn't sound like we're going to be using 2 forwards. I mean,
I really think it's going to be,
it's going to be 3 up top.
like if you told me that like Grace Ambrose is going to play right wing, Eliza Dean's going to play left wing, and Reese McDermott's going to start at the 9 on opening day, I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
I love making lineup predictions based on only a Google Doc with names and where they played.
You've got 2 of those. You've got 2 of those that previously played for the technical director in Sebastian and current assistant coach in Marin last year. You've got 2 that already played, and you've got someone that they're listing as a top professional prospect. So like, I just wouldn't be shocked if that's what like the starting lineup looks like. Now it's the WPSL, so you can go in and out a ton all the time.
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't actually functionally matter. What is listed on paper as a starting lineup does not effectively matter. I think we'll likely see Kennedy Ball in the starting lineup in some way, shape, or form, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's in one of those 2-way positions. So my big questions for CFC, for the Sky Blues going into match number 1, who starts in goal? What system are we playing? And how they kind of figure out those 4 or 5 positions kind of across the back with wingbacks, going into midfield. I don't think there's a lot of questions for me up front right now. We'll probably see like all 6 for those 3 positions. I feel pretty confident there'll be 3 up front. Who pairs with Kennedy Ball? And then ultimately, like, how good is this team on game number 1? And how good can this team be? Thanks to some help from the club that pointed me in the right direction. We know that the WPSL playoffs this year are real simple. There's 16 conferences. You win your conference, you make the playoffs. You finish second in your conference, your season's over. That's how this works. And the goal for the Sky Blues this year, for this podcast, and I guarantee you for the team itself, is to make the playoffs, to win the conference. Anything less than that is a failure for the season.
A failure.
A failure. It's just been too long. Like, there is no delta in my mind for what success looks like on the men's side and the women's side. Everybody should win.
Yes. Yeah.
He said everybody should win.
That's why you play the game.
You play to win the game.
But above all those other things, like making the playoffs is like the bottom level of acceptable. Like winning the Southeastern Conference of the NPSL when we were a men's amateur team
was a given.
Only because it kept happening. But if it didn't happen, it would have been a massive failure. And the 1 year we did not win the NPSL Southeastern Conference.
Doesn't exist. I don't want to talk about that.
It was a problem.
Yes, it was a problem.
For many a reason that we've talked about on this podcast, let alone financial.
God, I've never been so angry.
But like,
why'd you have to bring that up?
Not only did we not win the regular season, we had a chance to right those wrongs in some bullshit playoff format. And we also screwed that up. There is no bullshit playoff format to come help us out this time. No. It's win your conference, you make the WPSL playoffs. You don't win your conference, you don't make the WPSL playoffs. The goal is to make the playoffs and to hopefully go on a run, because frankly, we don't know what that feels like for the women's side. So like, not since 2018 at least.
I was going to say, we did one time.
One time. In how many years?
Too many.
9, 10,
More than
8,
one.
Whatever it's going to be. Like, it's time.
Agreed.
And that's the goal. And there's 8 games to do it, and there's 4 of them at home.
This is the 8th year, right? Or 9th year? 9th year. This is year 9 for the CFC Women.
Okay.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18. then hiatus.
22.
22, 23, 24, 25.
So 5 and 4.
This is no, year 9.
It's time. And that's the end of it. Like,
I agree. Take me through the schedule, Matthew.
well, I didn't put that in the show doc, so
I
I need to pull it up.
Like, I think there's a world in which where we finish 1 point down from the leader who goes undefeated or something like that, in which that I might modify my like happy about the season or whatever.
Well, it's such a winner go. I mean, it's such a winner go home format that
every year a second place team scrapes in because some first place team doesn't want to go.
That's a different conversation.
Oh,
So like, I don't care how we make it. I just want to make it.
yeah. I mean, again, it's so hard because we haven't seen like on the you go back to. I mean, you really can't compare NPSL days to this. But we knew our team. We knew our team.
Yeah.
I mean, year in, year out, there were changes. There were new guys coming. There were people who stopped playing or whatever. But we don't know. This is like year 1 for the fourth year in a row.
So for the NPSL, for the WPSL, for all these summer leagues, PDL, everybody else, my opinion is it's 80% recruiting, 20% coaching.
Well, sure. We have such a short time. It's really not
Exactly.
These are almost like national teams.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, you have to treat them that way because you don't get enough time with them to really. And so that's why having players over and over and over again on the mid side
was really helpful.
But we can't. I mean, you say this is year 9, but this is really year 4.
But
and
year 3, if you want to be
year
generous,
1 really didn't count. I mean, because we were so late and Randy, God bless him, decided
put things
to
together
help
from
out.
February on.
Right. Yeah. And so that year was just like we just need to play, and that's a success. Right? That kick a ball and we're good. Year 2, and so this is really year 3, and we've had in those 3 years we've had this will be our 3rd different coach.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, you've had Juan all 3 of those years. He's just was assistant.
Yeah, you have assistant. Yeah. So I mean, I hear you, and it sucks that it's only each conference champion.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
But I think it's harsh to say if we don't make the playoffs in that format that it's a failure. We can be disappointed, but
I'm gonna amend something.
I'll also point out this may be the first year for Juan as head coach, but like Marin arriving here, Sebastian arriving here, them having been involved in bringing in multiple players from the Colorado Storm, almost the California Storm.
One of those two,
and one from those. There is a little bit of a building on thing that's going on, and so I have a little higher. I don't think that I have the expectation that we're going to actually win the thing because. I mean, we haven't demonstrated we could win anything since 2018.
Let me make an amendment and then say why it's going to be even harder.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Matthew.
Because there are 16 conferences, although I counted like 15. I don't exactly know for sure. But there are actually 2 divisions of the Southeast Conference. So I assume that like divisional winners will have to play each other because there's no crossover.
Yeah.
So
that means the goal is to win your division.
Win the division, give yourself a chance.
I'll consider that playoffs. I'll amend that as long as
what I was thinking.
Yeah,
when
as
I
long
said
as
be first,
that's
not
going to be
second.
tough enough.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
But yeah,
a minute made.
I mean, being one of the final 16 would be an unmitigated success. I mean, that would be,
right.
Yeah. We're basing this all on paper. And
we're also basing this on bad vibes and disappointments where we're going like, it's been long enough. We have to do it. Like, we're not being fair for sure.
Nor do I plan on starting, to be clear. I've decided that I want to win a fucking division and I really don't care how it happens.
Well, of course. Yeah, of course. But, I was excited to hear the division split. We lose 2 of the best teams in the country. They're not in our division, but we gain 2 of the best teams in the country. I mean, we're talking about the Southeastern. Let's talk about the Southeastern Conference of the WPSL as having I don't know, almost 4 of the top 10, or I don't in the country. Not
Yeah, I think there's 4 or
hopefully
5.
five now.
I think there's 4 or 5 listed in the top 25 of the power rankings, which means
Yeah.
absolutely nothing.
I know because it's all based on
But
previous.
like, if you think about it, we've got Georgia Impact in the division, who is a signed letter of intent market for WPSL Pro. That's
Yeah.
a big youth program in north of Atlanta. You've got another big youth program north of Atlanta in Atlanta Fire United. You've got,
I mean, to be fair, Atlanta Fire were terrible 2 years ago when we played them.
yes.
I'd like to think they were very good, and that was a very nice win for CFC. You bitch.
That was bangers. That was the
bangers only
That was
game.
bangers only game. Yeah, we titled the next podcast the recap bangers only.
You've got UFA, who have a history of success, and you've got Decatur with, I guess, a history of success as well. They're ranked very highly. Another big youth program out in north of Atlanta. That's some space to contend with, and also, like, you just never, like, it. We're going back. I guess we're not going back. We every May around this time we alternate back to, like, reminding folks that, like, women's amateur soccer is nothing like men's professional soccer, right? It's practically a different sport sometimes.
Yeah.
But, like, they're not here for 10 months. They're not, it starts lightning fast, and sometimes it's inconsistent in the lineups in terms of who's available. Like, we remember those days with the men's team. We have seen this happen now this is our 4th summer back with the women's team.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, there
strap in, get ready. Like, it's time to roll here.
You know what I noticed? There are no Lanters on this team.
No, there are no Lanters on this team.
First time in a very long time.
Yeah.
It's a big turning of the page.
I guess let's shout out to Summer and Anna for their retirement.
Yeah. Crazy.
I cannot imagine that.
They have been, since I began watching CFC Women in 2014 or 2015, whatever the first season. I think I went to one game in 2014, or maybe it was 2015 was the first time I went to a game. I don't remember. One or both of them have been on the team.
Every iteration of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they weren't in 2014. I'm saying from when I first showed up.
Yeah,
Is all
yeah.
I'm saying. And this is wild.
Yeah.
Pour one out for the homies.
A new,
They're still alive and thriving, to be clear. I saw Anna in the off season. She was doing great, and I saw Summer a few weeks ago. She's doing great. So, man, that's crazy. Though I just realized, like, reading through that list, there's not a single. I do wonder, though, is either one of them
gonna miss it?
Is either one of them a practice player but not able to commit to because of work stuff or whatever else, but going to be like
because one of them's married to the head coach.
Sure, right.
Probably some conflict of interest there.
That's fine. She was married to an assistant coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's fascinating. Also, our oldest player is 26, and I know we're talking about, there's some experience here, but, like, we had Kaylee. Kaylee was like 25. Anyway, we had like 2 30-year-olds and like 2 28-year-olds.
Oh, in the Lantern.
In the last few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I just had this moment where I was like, holy shit, no Lanters.
So
there's been a Lanter because there was Claire Lanter before that. Like, there's always been a Lanter involved.
Sorry, I'm pulling up the schedule now because it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do on the WPSL website. So here's the schedule. We've got...
I didn't even look. Is it balanced schedule now? Home and away with everybody, or is it fucked up like last year where you play sometimes?
It's balanced.
Home?
There's only 5 teams in the division, so it's fully balanced.
Cool.
So we've got the UFA Gunners. That's home. That's the season opener. Friday, May 23rd.
Very happy that's at home.
We then follow that up
And
with...
they are ranked 24th in the WPSL top, preseason.
We did not
ranking.
play them last year, right?
I don't remember playing them.
No.
They were one of ours that we didn't have to play.
Yeah.
We follow that up with another home game. That's Friday, May 30.
So 2 Fridays in a row.
That's against Georgia Impact. That's at home.
We played them and got smacked last year, right? I think so. Keep going.
We then follow that up with another home game.
Oh boy. Don't like this big road stretch is going to happen.
That's Tuesday, June the 3rd.
Oh.
That's against Decatur.
Tuesday.
Rank number 14.
Then we go on the road immediately after. That's at UFA Gunners. That's June 6th, which is a Friday. Then we host Atlanta Fire United on June 14, which is a Saturday. That's the Saturday of Father's Day weekend. And then we'll have Georgia Impact away on June 18, which is a Wednesday. Then we'll have Atlanta Fire United away.
It's a lot of away games in a row.
On June 24, which is a Tuesday.
Yeah, but you can throw a hula hoop around. I mean, it's basically Atlanta.
It's nice that we're just going to Atlanta.
We're going 4 times to Atlanta and 4 times Chattanooga.
And then June 27 to close it out on the road. June 27 is a Friday. So
only one Saturday game.
Yeah, I think we'll know in the first 2 games. We've got 1 home, 1 away.
And then I believe the 4th of July weekend is going to be, I assume, when the 2 divisional winners will play.
Love how the WPSL doesn't have to publicize any of this.
Regionals are scheduled for
It's very NPSL.
July 11 through 13. And the WPSL Final Four is scheduled for July 18 through 20 in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
I can't wait to drive to Stillwater, Oklahoma.
July in Oklahoma. Who?
No one.
Jeez.
No one. Is
It's where Oklahoma City is where the WPSL has quarters.
I
They
don't
always
care
play.
that there's a reason for it.
Oh, this is going to make Jim feel better. Let me explain the real reason, Matt.
So that's what it's like.
Okay.
That's where we are.
It's going to be fun. And even if we are not good, friends, it is going to be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It is a blast.
I cannot stress this enough. Like, the women's season is short. It happens real quick. Those home games come very, very early. The road games are close.
And they're fun.
Try. There are no men's game conflicts with women's games this year.
Oh, really?
There's nothing on the same day.
The 14th, there's not a game away and home?
It's on the road on Father's Day at Red Bulls. You can theoretically make every single game if you try hard enough.
Oh, they play on the Sunday?
No, the Red Bulls. We play Red Bulls on Sunday.
Oh.
The other game is on Flag Day.
Got it.
Wow.
So,
And I would imagine none of the other clubs are accustomed to having away fans.
If you think you've ruined,
And so there will be so many angry parents.
I do think Georgia Impact. I think I saw them last year or the year before. Like, they got a pretty decent crowd.
Oh, okay.
Like really
Got a lot
decent.
of family members.
Yeah. Or whatever it is. So like,
Or maybe academy.
and I will note if Georgia Impact is like actually serious about doing this WPSL Pro thing. Like,
Yeah, they need
like
to
that's
get-
really
yeah.
important to get
Yeah.
an established base of support and whatever, and really get them used to, like, hopefully we're there one day,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so like all these road games are close.
Well, it's on the
road
pyramid.
games are-
WPSL's on the little infographic that the club
Yeah.
put out.
it's
Yeah.
not how I read that.
What do you mean?
That's not how I read that either.
I don't read that we're imminently going there as a goal.
You don't think that was an announcement with it?
Yeah, and we're going to Big MLS as well on the other announcement.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
Promotion and relegation, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Someday.
Relegate Montreal.
Well, it's Canada, so you could argue they've already been relegated.
Just for their crest, you could relegate them.
Yeah, bring back the impact. That's not the point. All right,
When
so
has this ever been about the point?
that's the schedule look ahead. That's the roster look ahead. Season starts fast, and
So what we're saying is the goal, or how we're judging the
win the
season
division.
is winning the division.
Yep.
I'm going to go with what you said, Jim, which is like I would be anything less than. I would be disappointed. It doesn't have to be an outright abject failure. if we're really, really competitive and we're really close and like the other teams are really good and we just miss out, like I'm gonna be bummed.
This is not how I saw this going.
I'm gonna be bummed, but I'm not gonna. I reserve the right to like try to find some like happiness in it. But
Well,
I'm and a bright side and whatever else. But I'm so tired of losing, man. It's time for us to take our rightful place, and I think we should be competitive. And after that, I don't know what to expect.
what did we finish last year? I mean, how many did we win?
How many teams were there? 9. I think we finished 8th.
Well, I'm talking about record. Like 2 and
I stopped looking because it didn't get better.
I know it wasn't great.
It was like 7th out of
So
9 or
one
something,
thing that might help
7
for
out of 10.
folks, if you didn't watch, 3 years ago, as Jim said, we put together a team in about 2 months. And so we just got with no disrespect to anybody, but like the people who either didn't know where they were going to play or maybe weren't invited to play other places. So like it was just like, hey, we are so happy to have these girls. Like we had a blast. It's some good players and some great personalities, but we were not competitive. We got thrashed pretty much almost every game. That was year 1 of the return. Year 2 of the return, we were better. We were a step forward. We were not good enough, and all of us were disappointed in where we ended up. Last year, we took a nice big step forward, and we were like, "Oh shit! Like this is fun."
On paper.
Well, on the field,
and on the field,
we
too.
took a
The
step
quality
forward.
was better.
But the league took 2 steps forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the results.
So like the league
Yeah.
was already several steps ahead of us. We did take genuinely a full big step forward, which was good. But like the league took 2 steps forward. The league was just a massive step. So like this year, we have to hope to take two or 3 big steps forward.
Yeah. And it's certainly it is possible with so much change. Certainly, we don't know what we've got. We could walk out. They could walk out on that pitch next week and win 3-0 and look like champions doing it. And we're like, okay, we didn't know.
Exactly.
We didn't know this was happening. I think we'll know in the first 2 games.
Yep. And
Because we're playing a really good team at home, and then we're playing
A really good team at home.
the first 2 are at home.
yeah, first 2 at
First
home.
3
okay.
at home.
The thing about the beginning of the season is like the beginning of the season is gonna be about talent, and we may not even have all of our players in. I don't know. Like I don't know who's finished school when. Like if you remember some of those first NPSL seasons, it was like hang on for dear life those first couple games, and so like I just don't know. But we'll know by 3. I don't know if we'll know 2 games, and I think we'll know 3 or 4 games in who we are. And then let's hopefully it is a season where we're competing for the playoffs, and if we're not, then we'll make as much noise as possible and have a blast and support the girls. But hopefully this is 3rd time's the charm. And by 3rd time, I mean 4th time.
Ninth time.
It's not. No, he's not 9.
All right, we're getting off. We're getting punchy at the end of this. Thank you, listeners, viewers, for listening, for watching. We really appreciate it. Go support the men this weekend in Huntsville and the women next week at home. It's going to be a blast, and we will catch up with you guys later. Peace.